Welcome back to Open Line tonight. We're talking about sexual harassment, sexual assault. Thank you for your calls that have already come in. Thank you for sharing so openly and honestly. If you have questions, concerns, your own experience to share, we are here to hear that tonight. 615-737-PLUS is the number to call. Two wonderful ladies here with me from the Sexual Assault Center who specialize in this day in, day out. This is your, I know, your passion, and it's your job, but probably more so your passion than anything else. Jessica Labenberg, Sharon Travis, thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Before I went to the break, I said, let's talk about laws, what works, what doesn't. And you politely steered me around during the break, which I appreciate. I mean, we all want to know about this better. And you said, it's not really so much about the laws, right? It's different for everybody.
Right.
And it comes down to the victim.
Right.
Tell me the focus you take on that at the Assault Center.
So, in the state of Tennessee, every victim of sexual assault has the right to decide whether or not to file charges and whether or not to prosecute. And there's so many different reasons, and we won't get into here why somebody may or may not choose to file a police report.
Sure.
But it's their choice, and it's going to look different for everyone. The important thing is that as a community, we are creating a culture where somebody is comfortable and safe to come forward and say, I've been sexually assaulted. And then as a community, we can receive that information and say, I believe you and I support you, and I know this is not your fault. And it's, as a community, the more we can say and do that, the more comfortable survivors will feel disclosing, and the more comfortable survivors are going to feel choosing to file police reports potentially.
Yeah, and Sharon, you were saying the number is pretty low of cases that actually move forward.
Yeah, so only less than 10% actually get prosecuted. Now, they may be investigated, but actually prosecuted, it's so low. So I feel like it's a better use of the public and the community energy to focus on making sure we're a healthy community. Because when you build that community health, then you begin to lower the incidence of it, and those that can be prosecuted may increase, right? And we're really helping people who are hurting to get the help that they need. So it's more important, or just as important, that they're able to move forward in an intentional way and live their life in the way that they want to, and not in reaction to this thing that happened to me. That's a very different way to live when you're living in reaction to, I'm going to make sure this never happens again. So you put up these walls, but you're also walling out the things that will help you live life fully. And so just creating that space where people can heal and be healthy, and making that part of the community. Jess keeps saying making sure people feel believed, supported, and know that it wasn't their fault. It's because those are the three barriers to people coming forth and telling their story in the first place.
Let's start with that. I mean, sadly, someone watching this program right now will likely be assaulted at some point in their life, probably more than one person. If that happens, what do you do? What is the first step? What can you do?
As a community member?
No,
as an individual who's been sexually assaulted?
Yes.
Great question, because I think that's a fear and concern of so many individuals, and for themselves and for their loved ones, their family members. A previous caller concerned about his daughter. If you have been sexually assaulted, the first thing we encourage is get to a safe place, that you feel safe, you are physically safe, and then when you're ready, reach out for help. Let someone know what happened. It can be really difficult and scary to tell somebody close to you, a friend, a family member. Self-blame, fear of not being believed. It's one of the important reasons that the Sexual Assault Center has our crisis line. It is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Somebody is choosing their shift, so somebody is choosing at 2 o'clock in the morning. They are choosing to be available by the phone to pick it up and say, I believe you, I support you, I know this isn't your fault, and what do you need?
Wow. Wow, and that is a service that you all offer 24 hours a day. And by the way, we do have that phone number to show you, so we will do that throughout the show. Please get your pen and paper ready. You never know if you need that number. It's actually up right now, 1-800-879-1999. We'll show it again throughout the show, so jot it down. Use it tonight if you need to. Keep it handy. Maybe for the future if you need it. They're always there. It is a choice of a victim whether to say, I want to go get a rape kit, or I want to file a police report. How do those steps pan out? What happens?
So those are one of the questions that our crisis line counselors on the crisis line can help navigate. if you need to have if you decide to have a forensic exam, kind of called a sexual assault forensic exam, we call them SAFEs sometimes. A crisis line counselor on her phone can help you determine from whatever county you're in where you would want to go, and it's responding to the hospital. It's usually a local ER. Here in Davidson County, it would be Nashville General Hospital. And when you get there, they have a wonderful SANE team, which is a sexual assault nurse examiner, a nurse who is specially trained at supporting and collecting the forensic evidence. The other wonderful thing that happens when you go to Nashville General Hospital is they will also call an advocate. So an advocate will be able to be there with you, as involved or uninvolved as you want them to be.
Someone to maybe hold your hand,
to hold your
maybe
hand
not,
or not.
whatever you want. Yes.
Yeah, hold your hand and listen to you and support you, or just be there and hold the silence with you.
So very important. And then what does it look like if you say, okay, I want to file a police report? What happens?
If it's a scenario where you have gone to the hospital to have the forensic exam done, if you want to file a police report, let them know, and they'll go ahead and call law enforcement to come out and take your police report. A lot of times they'll ask too, is this something you'd like to do? And they'll arrange to make that happen. You can choose also that I want to file a police report, but maybe just not here, not in this hospital, not right now, and that's okay too. They'll make sure that you have contact information to follow up with law enforcement, or staying connected with an advocate who can help you later on connect with them when you're ready to sit down and do your police report.
And I know that one of the big services you all offer is the counseling, and it's not, it is counseling for people who have just experienced an assault, a rape, something of that sort, harassment, but it also can be from decades ago, and it's something that people need to deal with now. It can be a family member of someone who has been assaulted, right? I mean, it's really wide-ranging.
Anybody in our community who's been impacted by sexual assault can reach out to us, and we see a lot of adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse, non-offending caregivers, the friends, the families, siblings of survivors, because our support systems need to know and learn how to help support survivors and those of us around us. And sexual assault impacts an entire family, an entire care unit, a friend unit. And those feelings are valid as well, and we want to support those and help heal with those.
And I want to point out, you all offer counseling to children as well, as young as 3, right?
Yes.
So about a little less than half of our clients are children. And so, and then when we get to the adult side, about 75% of them were assaulted when they were children and never told. So we know that a lot of this is rooted in childhood sexual abuse. And a child may not feel safe disclosing because the abuse may be coming from within their home. And so we also want to make sure that we are saying when it comes to children, the process is a little different, because once you get a disclosure as an adult, you're a mandatory reporter, period. And so you have to report it. There's no option. As an adult, you have that option.
Okay.
It's a great distinction there.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. I lost my train of thought, so I'm going to get it back, because I know I had a good question to ask. It happens to all of us here on live TV. But we are going to take a quick break. It's time for that anyway. More on discussion of sexual harassment, sexual assault when we come back. Stay with us.